A lot of people actually think cricket superstars aren't on the high end of the wealth scale in sports, and we think that misconception needs to be changed. Cricket hasn't just become one of the most popular sports in the world, it's also part of a rich sports culture in a lot of countries in Asia. And just as one would expect, this wave of popularity pumps the greens. Have you ever wondered where your favorite cricket player stands in the wealth rankings? Without further ado, here are the wealthiest cricket players by net worth. Shane Watson starts us off the bat with a ginormous net worth of $30 million. Think about it quickly. A man worth $30 million isn't even close to the richest in the game. Doesn't that stamp the fact that these guys are crazy rich? Watson not only had the ability to hit mighty big sixes, but was also a dashing jack of all trades with an explosive ability on the bat. Given he played for the Royal Challenger Bangalore team in the IPL with a couple of bumper contracts in his career accompanying well-paying brand endorsements, it's no surprise how he managed to attain such wealth. Speaking of all-arounders, Indian-born Yuvraj Singh picks up the pace with a net worth of $35 million. He rose to fame from the World Cup against England, where he hit 6 sixes in 6 balls against the Stewart board. He built on that and became the star man behind India's victorious 2011 World Cup triumph, bagging an MVP. Sadly, after the tournament, he was diagnosed with cancer, but like a true fighter, he beat it and even managed to make a comeback to team. He's partnered with a lot of various brands and has even started his own clothing brand, YWC, which are initials for his foundation, You We Can, which supports cancer treatment and other causes. With a whopping net worth of $40 million, ex-Indian opener and captain Virender Sehwag made the list today. He's well admired in Delhi, India, and why wouldn't he be? He captained the Delhi Daredevils for a long time and still holds so many yet-to-be-broken records. Now that he's retired, he enjoys a comfortable retired life and a career in commentary for Star India. He also started an international school for students with disabilities while bagging international brand endorsements from top companies like Reebok, Samsung, and Adidas. Another cricketer well known to have bagged substantial endorsements is the famous South African cricket player Jacques Kallis, with a net worth of $48 million according to Forbes and IMDb. He earned most of his money while he was a professional cricketer and even managed to amass 577 wickets in his 519 international appearances for South Africa. Besides that, he is also well known as a coach, and a successful one at that. He was made the brand ambassador of Advanced Hair Studio India in 2017. What a way for the best ever South African batsman to enjoy retirement. Speaking of legends of the game, the next in line is the legendary Australian himself, the leg spinner Shane Warne. He's a former captain for the Australian national cricket team and is widely recognized as a wicket-taking bowler. He may have been retired for so many years, but that doesn't stop him from making waves on this list, as his huge $50 million worth speaks loud enough. He's now a commentator for cricket on the Nine Network, and interestingly, it's reported that he invests heavily in his charity foundation focused on the betterment of lives of children. What a golden heart. For the endorsement side of things, he has endorsed brands such as Victoria Bitter, Pepsi, and McDonald's. At this point, it's almost starting to look like a list of cricket legends, as next up is the glorious former Caribbean international from Trinidad. You guessed it, Brian Lara, who has widely been acknowledged as one of the greatest ever cricket players of all time. His batting style was somewhat unorthodox, but more than enough to earn him a score of over 21,000 runs in the 430 appearances he made, a tally which is one of the highest numbers of runs in cricket history. In 2012, he was inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame, and while he's now retired, he certainly isn't leaving this list anytime soon with a net worth of $60 million. For those who don't know, he's a renowned philanthropist and has founded the Pearl and Bunty Lara Foundation, which focuses on social care issues. He's also a brand ambassador for MRF, an Indian tire company. Here's a little fun fact about him. This legend of a player also picked an interest in golf. And here's the neat part. He's won numerous international golf competitions. This one is for the cricket fans. Who do you think the next one on the list is? Well, if you said Ricky Ponting, you'd be right. Not only is he the man, he easily fits into the wealth topic with a worth of $65 million. He had an incredible career, winning 3 consecutive World Cups and 2 of those as a captain, while scoring 27,000 runs in his 560 appearances for Australia. He's endorsed by many brands like Adidas, Rexona, and even Valvoline. After retiring, he became a commentator for Channel 9, a role he was famous for. But he also got back into cricket, and this time as a coach for the Delhi Capitals IPL team, which finished 3rd in 2019. Ricky may have finished 3rd as a coach, but when it comes to being the richest cricketer, that position is for Virat Kohli alone. According to Forbes, he has a net worth of $92 million. The Indian icon has scored more than 10,000 ODI runs and even hit 70 centuries with an astonishing average of over 59.5. Being famous is an understatement. This man is almost like the face of cricket itself. He's known all over the world, and let's face it, he's a walking brand. He's the most followed person in India on Instagram with an astronomical 222 million followers. To add more spice, he reportedly charges over $1 million a day for his shoots and endorsements. He earned a lucrative contract with Audi India in 2015, and he's also promoted Pepsi, Google, and even Colgate, as well as working as an Uber brand ambassador in 2018. Kohli, a co-owner of FC Goa, Indian football team, also owns fashion brands and collaborates with Puma. Finally, he is the only cricket player to be included on Forbes' list of the world's highest paid athletes. As crazily rich as Kohli is, he still doesn't make it into the top 2. India's most successful captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, is still one of the 2 people to trump him on this list. While still playing, he was admired for his skill and calm approach to every game. As captain, he also led the Indian team to 2 Asian Cup wins, an ICC championship, and of course, the 2011 Cricket World Cup. He holds several unbroken records like the most T20 wins and most wicketkeeper catches. He's endorsed so many elite brands like Snickers, Lay's, Colgate, Reebok, and even Gulf Oil. Do you want to know his net worth? $111 million. We've talked about a lot of elite players here. Who possibly can be the richest cricket player? Well, that's easy. A man known to be a hero and a game legend. As a matter of fact, if cricket was to have a god, it would probably be him. We're talking about none other than Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, who is rated to be $170 million rich. Not only is he the very best cricket batsman of all time, but he's also the player who holds the unbelievable record of scoring 100 centuries in his international career. He endorses quite a substantial number of brands like BMW, Pepsi, Canon, Adidas, and Visa. When he was appointed as the brand ambassador of MRF Tires, he was the first cricketer to bag a deal of 100 crore rupees, estimated at $12.4 million. He owns many properties which are worth almost $65 million. Currently, he's reportedly trying to support and endorse other lesser-known sports in India, and he's the co-owner of Tamil Taleva, a professional kabaddi team. Their fortune is ever increasing, so it's more likely that their wealth would have spiked up more when you came across this. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out other videos from us about your favorite stars and their life of luxury.